Hey guys, it's Kamzy, and today we're doing a Sims 4 speed build. So I'm really excited for this video because this is a very special build and it took me a good 6 hours to do, so I really hope you guys enjoy this video. But anyways, let's get into it. So this build is 3 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and it cost about 144,000 simoleons, which I understand is a bit pricey, but I mean, you can't go cheap with a modern mansion, so. But right now I'm kind of just messing with the window placement because I'm not exactly the best with modern exteriors, and neither am I with the interiors, so this house was kind of a struggle for me. And don't worry, because in the end it did come out very nice. It's just, this isn't exactly my typical build style, so it took me a little extra time than this size of a house normally would, just because I'm not really used to building this way, which I think is a good thing because it kind of put me out of my comfort zone, and it still looked amazing in the end, so it's definitely worth my struggle. I feel like I would see this house in like one of those $1 million retail shows on like HGTV or House Hunters or something like that, because this house looks like it would cost $45 million or something ridiculous. And let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about those gigantic houses, and would you even ever live in one, or do they just not feel homey to you? Because for me, they really don't feel homey, and I wouldn't ever want to live in them, even if I had the money to buy them, which of course I don't, and probably most of you guys don't either. I still wouldn't live in one of them because I feel like they look a bit too like fake and robotic. Don't get me wrong, these houses are beautiful, I just find they're not really for me. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this style of house in the comments below. But back to the build. Right now I'm just trying to figure out the landscaping and the path configuration, and to be honest, I'm not the best at desert landscaping, and I very rarely ever do it, but I still think it looked amazing the way the landscaping worked, and I decided to go with like rocks instead of like half walls or platforms just because I think they looked the best, but it did take a very long time to do. Now I'm just adding in some cute desert ferns and plants and fruit things or whatever those little yellow things are. And I'm finally starting the rocks, which in the end they looked amazing. It took forever. So it was definitely worth it though. I took a lot of inspiration on this house from like those Nevada, Las Vegas homes for like the landscaping, and also like Hollywood mansions for the like actual house. And I think they both worked very well together, and it looked amazing when the build was done. But right now I'm installing like palm trees and like tropical plants and ferns and things, and I think it looks very cute. And I know this sounds a little bad, but I did take a little tad bit of inspiration from the land grabs across the street. And don't worry, the house does not look anything like theirs. There's no rooms with 4 orange mirrors in it, but it just a little bit on like using the palm trees, and the modern large house is a little bit land grab inspired, but it's much nicer and it doesn't have weird random objects in it and empty rooms and gigantic space for no reason. It's much better. Actually it's cheaper than the land grab house, but it's a much nicer house and much more functional and a lot less weird, so don't worry. So I was actually building this house for a Let's Play family, which I'm not going to upload to my channel actually because I already started the Let's Play, so it wouldn't really make sense to upload a partially done Let's Play already, so I'm not going to do that. But let me know in the comments if you guys think that I should upload a Let's Play, and what kind of Let's Play. Do you think I should do a legacy challenge, 100 baby challenge, get rich quick challenge, runaway teen challenge? There's many different challenges that are in the Sims community, so let me know in the comments what challenge you guys think I should do, because I rather do some kind of challenge that you guys actually would watch rather than some random challenge, so definitely let me know in the comments. Also, I will eventually probably get to doing every challenge you can possibly think of, but just let me know in the comments what you think I should start with, because I'm not quite sure. I was thinking a runaway teen challenge or a 100 baby challenge, but I don't really know, so I think you guys should definitely let me know in the comments for which one I should do, so I can really get your input on it, so that I start with a challenge that you guys would actually really enjoy. But anyways, this is just some random build world that I'm building this house in. I decided to not actually delete my Sims house and build it in their world because I was really in love with the house that I already had built there, so I wasn't even exactly sure if I wanted to build a new house. I just tend to like to build a new house for every generation of Sims, and I am on the 8th generation now, and I really wanted it to be just a super influencer, Richie, California mansion vibe because my sim is in the social media career, so I just really wanted it to have all those vibes, but I wasn't exactly sure if I even wanted to change the house because the house I already had was one of my favorite houses I ever built, and it took me like a whole day to build, so I didn't really know if I wanted to go into this house, which I kind of considered a downgrade. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful house and I love it. It's just I kind of considered it a downgrade compared to the mansion I had before, which I was just totally in love with. But I think I'm still going to switch to this house because I just like to switch it up with every generation into a new house because I just feel like it makes sense, and you wouldn't really live in the same house for like 10 generations because that's just a bit strange. So I really just decided to honestly go with this house. Most likely I will obviously save my other house and maybe even go back to it in a different save because I honestly just love that house. But I'm probably 95% sure I am going to play in this house in my legacy challenge. But anyways, let's get back to the build for a second. So right now I'm working on the backyard, which is honestly my favorite area in the whole house. It came out absolutely amazing, and this is definitely the most mansiony influencer vibe area of the entire house. I just loved the way the backyard came and the pool, and there's like a cute little like fireplace and stuff. I won't send in too many spoilers, but I definitely love the way it turned out. Also, now that I think about it, this house isn't actually a mansion. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's really only 3 bedrooms and oddly enough 4 bathrooms, which I think is a bit strange to have more bathrooms than bedrooms, but it's fine because it's just this game. Also, my Sims actually lived in a Victorian like mansion. Like, when I say Victorian, I mean like Victorian, but also Victorian because it was a bit strange and it was very lived in and renovated. Like, every time I played in that save, I would change something. So it looked very strange and it had a lot of weird like aspects about it, but it did eventually look a little less weird. It just was a bit odd, but this house is definitely an improvement because my sim actually only has 2 children and is single, so these 3 bedrooms will definitely be enough, and they won't need to expand and make awkward extensions because she is single. So I don't plan on having her adopt kids or getting married again. So she will just have those 2 kids until I move one of them out and have one of them as the heir, but we'll definitely not need to expand or do anything until we get to the next generation. So that's definitely a lot better, and we won't have weird bump outs and random rooms that used to be actually useful that were just turned into a bedroom because my previous sim had 8 children. One of them was moved out, and then I had another one. It was just a disaster. That was the most children I ever had at one time. Actually, 6 of them were adopted. 2 of them she had herself, and then 6 I just adopted because I was like, why not? But it was definitely a fun experience. Also, when I say that I love this house, it was not because it was some amazing mansion that was perfectly done and had so much detail. It was mainly because I played in it for like a month, so it just wound up having me attached to it. So I loved it for that reason. It wasn't exactly the best house. I'm just so attached to it because I've never played in a single Sims house for that long without changing the house or moving or doing something with it that was so drastic. And like I said, I kept renovating the house, but not insanely drastically. It was just like adding a bathroom on or adding another bedroom on, which I did like 4 times. But it's definitely still looked nice, and I was just totally in love with that house. So I'm definitely upset to see it go, but I'm happy that I get to live in a house with only a normal amount of Sims and nicer stuff, because the old house was a bit crowded and had like the cheapest furniture, because I was kind of selling stuff and then adding a bedroom while I sold it. It was a lot, but it worked for then. But now I wound up taking up the painting career, and I also had my Sims mother be an author, so we definitely came into some money at this point. So we're definitely getting a huge upgrade, but it's also a downgrade in my eyes because we're just losing all of our like story and history. But it's okay because new beginnings are good sometimes. But anyways, I'll stop babbling about that Let's Play just for now. Don't worry if you somehow got invested in their story. I'll tell you more later, because we've actually started the interior and finished the exterior, which I was definitely in love with, and I just imagine that being an amazing, entertaining area. More in real life. In The Sims, it doesn't matter too much, but in real life, that would be an amazing, entertaining area. But we started the interior, which I kind of realize this more now than I even did before. This lot actually has horrendous lighting. It's absolutely terrible, and it's just so dark. I used an enormous amount of lights everywhere, and it's still so dark. So that was honestly quite annoying, but it's fine because the house still worked out and looked nice. Also, I honestly thought this house was a lot bigger than it was, and my eyes were definitely bigger than the amount of space that we really had, because I kind of decided to make a gigantic master bedroom on the first floor and also have 2 living rooms for some reason and an office. So the kitchen and dining room and like the TV room, I guess, more than like the formal living room, were kind of cramped because the master bedroom was absolutely gigantic and the office took up space, and also the fact that there was 2 living rooms took up space, and the dining room was then cramped into this little corner, and the kitchen was over in the side, and it was a little bit weird in like the main area with the kitchen, the dining room, and the TV room. But it was still nice, and the rest of the house I really loved. That area I wasn't totally in love with, and it felt a bit empty and lacking, but it was definitely like fine, and it wasn't unacceptable. So I kind of just let it go, because I did finick and mess with it for a little while, but I couldn't figure out exactly what to do, because I would have had to redo the whole house, and at that point it's just not worth it for a little bit of like weirdness in one area, and it still looked fine. So don't worry, because it definitely worked out. I'm making it sound worse than it was because it looked fine. It's little details that not everyone would notice, but I really did, so it bothered me, but it probably won't bother most of you. Also, I do have a girl and a boy that are both at the age of like a child, but I gave them bedrooms for like teens because there's no point to like make a child bedroom because they're just gonna age up and then you're gonna have to redo the whole thing, and I just don't want to have to redo this house like every 5 seconds. So I kind of decided to just give them teen bedrooms, and they'll have teen bedrooms for a little bit until they're teens, and it'll make sense, but it won't make sense for a minute, and then it will make sense, but it's fine. One of them is kind of boring and it has no character, but the other one is very characterized, which definitely fits these Sims personalities. So, about the bathroom situation, I know this house is huge and it definitely should have 2 bathrooms on the first floor, and for gameplay, it would make a lot of sense. And if you wanted to get from that office all the way to that bathroom, it would literally take your Sims like 30 minutes just to walk that far around. So that didn't really work out in the end anyways, so that's kind of good. I wound up just making the office smaller and doing like a half bath for like the rest of the house, and that actually wound up being the ensuite bathroom to the master bedroom, which the master bedroom was supposed to be the living room, but that didn't really work out for the living room. It just, the space wasn't right. It was too big for a living room, so it just felt awkward. So I wound up turning it into a master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom. And in the other area, I wound up changing the office to be smaller so that you wouldn't have to walk through the master bedroom to get to the only one bathroom on the entire first floor of this gigantic house. So I wound up just making a half bath so your Sims can use the bathroom and everything. And then whoever the leader is, or like the leader, the like parents or the heir will use the ensuite bathroom, and everyone else will just use the half bath. And if they need to shower, they can shower upstairs, because there's actually two bathrooms upstairs. One of them is an ensuite to a teen's bedroom, and the other one is just a hall bath. So they can shower upstairs, so it's not really a big deal, but it kind of is a bit weird. Originally, I actually was not going to put the master bedroom there, but I just wound up doing it anyways because I really couldn't make anything else work. I even tried putting an art studio in like this weird side room and like a gym and so many things. I just wound up deleting it because it didn't make sense. I just configured the living room in like 86,000 different ways. I put a fish tank. I did everything and it didn't work. So I wound up just turning it into a bedroom, like I said. I even tried to put a closet in that space. I literally tried everything I could think of because bedroom was kind of a last resort, but it honestly turned out amazing, and it genuinely looked amazing. Like, imagine waking up to that view of your backyard every morning. That would be amazing. I know Sims don't care, which is kind of dumb and annoying. I think they should definitely add your Sims to like be able to like gaze at view or something. But I know that would be really complicated to implement, so I can never like expect that of the Sims devs to really do. So this is kind of embarrassing and also a little bit dumb, but originally this house was going to be 4 bedrooms because I was also going to include a bedroom for their grandmother. But long story short, it wound up being 3 bedrooms. And I feel really bad because this Sim I've been playing with for like a long time, but I'm just gonna move their grandmother out into like a cottage or something somewhere because there's not enough room for her, even though all the money for this house pretty much came from her. I'm just gonna move her out to some like little cottage somewhere, but I feel so bad, but I don't really have a choice because I'm not gonna redo this entire house because I really like it, and I'm not gonna just build this house for nothing. So I'm gonna wind up moving their grandmother out to some random house somewhere, which is something to say the least. I just feel so bad because this Sim literally came from like a normal, like middle class family and brought themselves to riches, all to go live into some tiny 1 bedroom cottage that they're gonna be living all alone in. But I don't really have a choice because I didn't really account for her, which was kind of dumb. I kind of just forgot she existed and I feel so bad, but I haven't really been playing with her too much recently. I've kind of been focusing on my new heir for like the past little while, but I feel really bad because I basically forgot about Grandma, who basically brought us this entire fortune. If we didn't have Grandma, we would be living in like a small cottage with like 2 bedrooms and the kids would have to live in bunk beds. It would have been a disaster, but she really made a lot of money throughout her life and now she has to lose it all. I mean, honestly, guys, let me know in the comments what you think I should do, because I really don't want to take her house away from her, because I'm considering this her house, because she basically paid for all of it with her life savings, and I just feel bad. Like, she must be the most selfless person ever to actually move out of her own house for her daughter to raise her two children there. And honestly, I kind of need her because her daughter, my heir, actually goes to work. She's an actor, and also she writes books on the side. So basically, her daughter does like all the work recently. She's made a decent amount of money, but most of the money had come from grandma. So I feel really bad because we need grandma to help with the kids. And she also earned all the money. So we're basically stealing her house from her by her daughter, which is kind of messed up, but whatever. Honestly, I'm contemplating rearranging the entire second floor. I'm not going to make a video on it, obviously, but just for myself, maybe rearranging the entire second floor and adding a staircase somehow to get to a third floor with like another bedroom or two, so that we can have grandma in the house, because I don't know what else to do and I just can't get rid of that sim. And this is a long lifespan like legacy challenge, so we've really had her for a long time, and I just, moving her out does not do her justice. We've had her for so long. She's made probably 200, 300,000 simoleons in her lifetime. So we can't just move her out from a house that she's paying like most of her life savings for and just move her away. And she also was helping with the kids, so I don't even know what I would do. I would have to hire a nanny for the kids, but it's just a disaster. Tell me in the comments below what I should do, because I'm not really sure, and I think I might just add a third floor because I don't really know what else to do. And I would hate to get rid of grandma, but that might be my only option. But anyways, I'm sorry. I kind of really just stepped away from the build there. Um, I'm basically almost done with the entire first floor. I've finished the master bedroom, the office area, and like the formal living room, and now I'm just working on like the main living space with the TV room, the dining room, the kitchen, which honestly I was the least crazy about in the entire house. But it wasn't really bad, it just wasn't great. I would say I could have maybe done better, but that was if I was going to redo the whole house. And because of the rest of the house was already established, I wasn't going to redo the whole thing just because of one or two imperfections in the living room. So I wound up just like keeping it the way it was, which was fine. But anyways, I did add in that half bath, as you can see. So you didn't have to walk in the parents' bedroom to get to the only bathroom on the first floor, because that would have been really weird. So I added like a bathroom on the first floor, so it's like 1.5 bathrooms. And I did have to sacrifice the office a little bit, but for some reason that just gave me the inspiration to go all in and turn the office into a total plant haven. So there's a crazy amount of plants in the office. It's basically like a botanical garden office, but I felt like that just really added character, so I really liked it. So I finished up the first floor, and now I'm starting the second floor, which the second floor I was a little bit disappointed in, not because of the aesthetics, but because I only fit 2 bedrooms in there, and I really would have liked another one because I wanted to have space for grandma, which now that I think about it, I was very dumb and I should have just bumped out the house a little bit, but I didn't want to ruin the aesthetic. And to be honest, I really didn't think of it, so that's probably what I'm gonna do later. Still let me know in the comments though what you think I should do. But most likely I'm just gonna bump out either forwards or backwards, most likely backwards towards the back a little bit, and just add like a nice sized bedroom for grandma, because I would kind of just hate to like have to kick grandma out when she basically single-handedly was able to afford this house, because let's be real, painting in The Sims is kind of overpowered. And I'm kind of realizing now that the way I'm making grandma sound is that she was some rich, entrepreneur that brought herself to wealth all by herself, which is not exactly true because she kind of got like 87,000 simoleons from the house before her that we sold. So this house is actually only 144,000 simoleons, so it's not even that much more expensive from 2 generations ago. Our house is actually cheaper than our current house, but that's because we need less space right now. It's also smaller. It's actually many bedrooms smaller and many rooms smaller, but that's just because we need a lot less right now. But I think, like I've been saying, it's a bit too small, and what are we gonna do with grandma? But now that I've been thinking about it the entire time I've been recording for this video, we should be fine because I can just mess around with the hallway for grandma and add another bedroom. And don't worry, because we definitely have enough money because grandma's been painting and we have like 102,000 simoleons. So if we sell our old house, we'll definitely have a surplus of money to buy this house, and then I can expand and mess with it a little bit so that I can have it to our liking and grandma can actually have a space so we don't have to move her out to some random cottage somewhere. Like, this is her entire life savings. I would feel so bad doing that because she worked her entire life and then she has to go live in some cottage far away that she's probably gonna get visited like twice by me. Knowing me, I'll probably visit her twice because she's gonna be in like some random world far away and I'm gonna barely know her at that point. It's just so sad because she worked for it so hard. So we'll definitely have to like fix this all for her. I just feel so bad because this is basically grandma's house and we were gonna basically forget about her. Luckily, we have extra money, and I didn't do what I normally do and spend all my money on the house and leave myself with like 12 simoleons left. So we have enough money to expand on it and maybe even have like a cute little like backyard cottage, which I usually like to do for the grandparents is like pretend it's like an old garage that's like turned into a little grandparents apartment. But anyways, guys, we're actually going to wrap it up because we're at the end of the video, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm actually not going to do a tour today because the video is already 27 minutes long, so I would rather the video not be too long. But anyways, bye guys. Thank you so much for watching.